want to welcome you with some first point. So the agenda is pretty dense, let's say. So we start obviously with this welcome message and introduction from me, from Trust IT Services. I'm working in the NERO project in the communication dissemination work package. After me, we are glad to have with us Evangelos Oudzounis, Senior Expert Program Manager from ENISA, from the European Union Agency for Cybersecurity. Very glad to have him here with us. Then we'll go through the presentation from Kitty Kioskli, the coordinator of the NERO project. She is the CEO at Trustilio, and she is bring us into this presentation, connecting solution suppliers with SMEs and other adopters. Then we will have Nefeli Buntuni from the project CyberSuite, and talking about the marketplace and CyberSuite portfolio definition lead. She is here at 11:30, talking about fostering the uptake and innovative security as a service solutions. Then we will have Violeta Vasileva from CyberSynchrony project, harmonizing people, processes, and technologies for robust cybersecurity. She is the project coordinator of the CyberSynchrony project from Gruppi Maggioli. Then we will have CyberSecPro projects. From this project, we are glad to have Christos Doulegoris, who is the technical coordinator and professor at OPRC University. We will have the final session space for a panel discussion and conclusions from the project with all the speakers, and we will talk about the topic and the questions that will arrive from the audience. Just a few practical tips from us. Please use the Q&A box at the bottom of your screen to submit your questions during the webinar, so we can discuss at the final moment of the webinar during the Q&A session in the panel discussion. And you can have reply to your questions from the speakers, written reply, or we can talk during the session. The speakers will reply to you. The session is being recorded, just a few reminder, and will be shared on the NERO website and its YouTube channel. And the presentation slides from the speakers will be available after the session on the NERO website. So now is time for the first panelist to talk, and thank you for everyone for being here. So I'm asking the first panelist, so Evangelos Oudzounis, to start his presentation.
Yeah, so good morning, colleagues, guys, friends. I'm Evangelos Oudzounis. I'm a head of capacity building and skills within ENISA. It's a great pleasure to be with you today, and I will use my 15 minutes, to present you some of the things that ENISA has done on SMEs and cybersecurity. So, unfortunately, I have some problems with Zoom, and the good colleagues, from NERO are going to help me with play out of the slide deck. So next slide, please. So as you know very well, cybersecurity is an evolving field. The threat landscape changes all the time. There are always new threats, new vulnerabilities. Technologies are being used, and they reveal weaknesses. And we have seen dramatic changes from 2019 to 2024, ENISA publishes an ENISA Threat Landscape report every year, and you can always download it and consult it. And this captures all the main trends and also the evolution of the trends over the years. Just to tell you that on the left-hand side, you can see some of the important developments recently, the advent of the AI and the use of AI for launching attacks. We have seen a lot of issues related to supply chain and also on open source. Definitely important attacks related to DDoS. We have seen this also in Ukraine, where there were attacks affecting critical infrastructures, and phishing attacks, which continue to become very important. And regarding the sectors affected, many sectors definitely are being affected, but public administrations seem to be quite weak and they are exploited. And next slide, please. So when it comes to SMEs, obviously, we see that there are important cybersecurity concerns because of the nature of the SME. So we talk about small companies, with limited capacity on IT, even less knowledge and expertise and capacity to deal with cyber matters. So, and some of the statistics and the studies that ENISA has done with regards to the SMEs, we have seen that 85% definitely consider cybersecurity as a key concern for businesses, and 85% of cyber attacks definitely relate to social engineering and phishing attacks. And many of these SMEs of these companies are affected. So at the bottom of this slide, you can see, for example, types of attacks. So phishing scores very high. We have web-based attacks. We have also general malware and other more sophisticated attacks affecting SMEs. So what can we do to protect SMEs? What can we do to help them, become more resilient and address the concern? I'll give you some ideas, and I'm sure that the rest of my panelists will accompany me by offering additional good practices and suggestions. Next slide, please. So the use of the technology, some interesting observations as well. So we see here that a lot of SMEs are going to the cloud, and by going to the cloud, definitely we rely on others to protect you. And we see some benefits, especially for small companies, that they don't have the technological means, the budget, the expertise to in-source technology and protect themselves properly, because there is a big cost, not only in terms of the usage of the technology, but also in recruiting people and maintaining the people. As you know, there is a huge skills gap, on cybersecurity experts. So definitely, this is very important. And you can see that some of the concerns that the people have, for example, on backups and ransomware. I mean, a lot of these companies have been affected by ransomware attacks. They didn't have a backup in place. They found themselves in a very tricky situation, either to pay the ransom, which we always advise not to, or accept reality. So they have lost very important, useful information. Also, antivirus, a firewall. I mean, these are important systems. I know there is a cost to it, but definitely they protect you a lot. And by going to the cloud, definitely you rely on others, but there is still a cost in doing this, and there are other kinds of issues, by going to the cloud. So next slide, please. So I have alluded to some of the challenges, but allow me to elaborate a little bit. So we have definitely low cybersecurity awareness of the personnel of the SMEs, and we usually talk about companies that they have, I don't know, from 20 to 200, 250 employees. So the IT department, the IT team is usually 2-3 people, maybe a little bit more. And from those, I don't know, 50%, half an FTE is a cybersecurity expert, if at all. So we have also the staff of an SME, the colleagues, the people who work in an SME are not fully aware of the risks, especially, phishing attacks. We don't know what are, most of these companies, they don't know who are their critical assets, who are their critical services, and what will happen if these services are not available anymore. So they need to do a proper risk assessment. They need to understand, how to protect these assets. Obviously, there is a problem with the budget. And as I said, it's very difficult these companies to recruit cybersecurity specialists. And even if they manage to recruit, there is a high turnover of these people. So usually within 1 or 2 years, these people might get a better job with better payment, and they might leave. So there are other issues that I mentioned here, but one important thing more to say, and this reflects in many of our studies, is that there should be a proper buying in from the management, from the owner. Sometimes the SME is, owned by one family or one person. Definitely, this person has to have a high appreciation of the risk and the challenges, and be ready to invest and understand and see, that the cybersecurity is actually a business risk and can bring down the company. Not to mention as well that there are regulatory obligations with penalties associated to it. For example, GDPR, but I will elaborate now the NIS2. So next slide, please. So the NIS2 directive, the two versions, NIS1 and NIS2, I was responsible within NISA many years for the implementation of NIS Directive 1 and 2. I changed jobs this January. So yeah, it's a big complicated legislation, has been transposed, NIS1 and now NIS2 is being transposed, and has created a lot of a common level playing field across the EU. We have now national cybersecurity authorities. We have identification of critical sectors. There are particular, constraints, requirements that put on the shoulders of on the companies identified, as critical. In most of the cases, at least in NIS1, they were big companies not qualified as SMEs, but in NIS2, we have again a change of the approach. And, there are areas, there are sectors where we might see SMEs happening, because there are SMEs that they deliver critical services. And I will mention, for example, small companies that they offer trust services, electronic IDs and so on, that they are can be very critical, and they are sometimes small companies. Here you can see some of the provisions of the NIS directive, not so much in the interest of this meeting today, but if you have to remember one thing, just remember that this is a legislation that now affects also SMEs, and they are liable and they have to implement some of these provisions. Next slide, please. So I will stick to one important area that might be useful for the audience today, is the security measures. And ENISA has, helped a lot the member states, to come up with a particular framework. We have also on top published a guidance, and this is a document that was also on consultation until very recently. And there we have used many good practices, many standards, the knowledge and the expertise of ENISA people, and of course many experts, from Europe. And there on the right hand side you can see, the domains where we believe there should be some focus and attention, and within the domains there are particular controls. So a cybersecurity expert can definitely take the security measures and use them as a kind of a guidance, as a checklist to see, if the company or the organization fulfills them, and if not, then there are very good and practical examples how to do that. And scoring on all domains and fulfilling all the domains might not be so easy for an SME, not even for a big company, but at least you know where to focus, and you have some examples, to be inspired of. Next slide, please. So NISA has done some work to support the SMEs, although the organization is small and SMEs is not the #1 priority. But, there were a lot of things that we have done recently. There were events that we have organized also in Greece, where the agency is headquartered at the moment. We have a report as well in 2021 we published about cybersecurity for SMEs. We have some tools in place that I will explain, some webinars that we have done, like the one that we have today, and some leaflets that you can download. So we are an organization that is paid by taxpayers' money, so all these are free resources. You can use them, you can download them. Next slide, please. So there is a dedicated web tool, and you have, the QR code. You can scan it. Normally, that will go to the place. There are some nice videos that you can download. There are some podcasts as well that we have published, and some campaigns. Again, I continue with promotion of this material. I believe that you can find easily knowledge and expertise for free. Next slide. And I will pay a little bit attention to this tool, the Cybersecurity Maturity Assessment. It's a very interesting approach. It's a step-by-step guide or a checklist that will help you, to define your cybersecurity objectives. It is strongly related to the security measures and the baseline security measures that I have mentioned before. And by doing this, you can also benchmark yourself and see, where you are. I will recommend the use of it. So next slide, please. And these are, for example, the modules that you can play, and there is the QR code for doing the SME assessment. I will encourage the participants, especially SMEs, to do this. Next slide. And here we can give you some of the statistics. We can see that, for example, that some companies are, understand the matter. They are good in awareness, but there is a need for more training. So definitely, on security measures, more work needs to be done. And if there is a funding that comes from ECCC or from the Commission, absolutely that will be good. And by using the tool, you can definitely compare yourself, with a baseline, with the average of all the participants who were there. So next slide. And that's my last slide. So awareness raising in a box. So we have an SME edition. So this is also an approach, a mechanism that you can download, and you can use it. You can become yourself an awareness raising expert. You can promote this tool to your constituencies, to your SMEs or clusters of SMEs. We encourage the people to do that, and if they act as multipliers, we will be also happy to give some additional support. And if you think that it is the case, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. So this is a product that is used by member states, the national contact points of the ECCC, and by the Commission, by the EU agencies. It is very well received, and it is for free, as I said. And if you can use it, you join a big community of practice, of other people who are doing it, and you can learn. And we don't ask for royalties, we don't ask for money, but we kindly ask you to maybe come back to us on a regular basis and give us some statistics about the use, about the people who use it, about the profile. And this is a little bit superficial now, what I'm presenting, because this relates to the European cyber skills framework that ENISA has prepared. And there are many profiles, and one of the profiles is the awareness raising, the educator. So I think I have used all of my time, and I'm sorry if I went a little bit fast through the slides, but I remain available, at the end of the presentation of the webinar, during the panel, to answer any questions, if any. Thank you so much, and back to you,
Thank
Maria
you.
Letizia.
Thank you very much, Vangelos, for your presentation. Very, very interesting. Also, to know about more about the challenges that are in place and, I mean, your particular point of view on the matter. So thank you again. So now I'm glad to give the floor to the coordinator of the NERO project, Kitty Kioskli, from Castillo. And the floor is yours. Thank you very much, Kitty.
Great. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, perfectly. Yeah.
Okay, hello, thank you. I'm Dr. Kitty Kioskli. I am the CEO and co-founder of Trustilio, which is a cybersecurity SME based in the Netherlands. Trustilio is the coordinator of the EU-funded project NERO, and I'm here in this webinar with my colleague and co-coordinator, Dr. Eleni Seralidou. I will talk about connecting solution suppliers with SMEs and other adopters. So this is the agenda for today's presentation. I will go through the project overview, the objectives, the methodology, and then dig a bit further into the demonstrations, the marketplace, and some future directions. So NERO project addresses the unique cybersecurity challenges faced by SMEs, the backbone of our economy, which often lack the resources to defend against threats like ransomware and phishing. NERO's mission is to foster a security-first culture by raising awareness, educating employees, and equipping SMEs to respond effectively to risks. This ensures they can embrace digital transformation securely and sustainably. NERO aims to bridge the gap in cybersecurity for SMEs by connecting them with innovative solutions and expertise. It creates a dynamic ecosystem where awareness tools and training are easily accessible. Beyond defense, NERO helps SMEs to build resilience, so the ability to recover quickly from cyber attacks. And overall, it fosters a safer digital environment for SMEs, empowering them to thrive without being hindered by the growing threats of cybercrime. The NERO consortium consists of 15 partners and one associated partner, including 15 SMEs and one university. The diverse group brings together expertise from 9 countries, and these are the Netherlands, Cyprus, Greece, Italy, Sweden, France, Germany, Portugal, and Belgium. So our consortium is strategically designed to unite a diverse group of key players, structured into 5 groups to cover every aspect of the project. So these players are technology partners, industry stakeholders. Then we have the ecosystem development, NERO demonstration, and dissemination and impact. So together, these groups combine complementary expertise, covering everything from innovation to evaluation, and ensuring that NERO's goals are achieved with a broad interdisciplinary approach. So NERO provides comprehensive cybersecurity solutions for SMEs and public organizations through three key initiatives. First, training, so offering cybersecurity best practices and innovative solutions to enhance the knowledge and skills of employees, customers, and partners. Then we have the marketplace platform, so connecting cybersecurity solution providers with adopters, simplifying access to tools and services for SMEs and public organizations. And then we have collaboration, so promoting partnerships among SMEs, public entities, cybersecurity providers, and other stakeholders to foster innovation and share best practices. Overall, NERO aims to build a robust and resilient cybersecurity ecosystem across the EU, empowering SMEs and public institutions to better protect themselves from cyber threats. So NERO project is an advanced cybersecurity ecosystem with 5 interrelated frameworks designed to foster a security-first culture aligned with ENISA's recommendations. It provides SMEs with a cyber immunity toolkit, a resilience program, and gamification-based awareness training through a user-friendly marketplace. Its core components, which are Victorious, Audacious, Cybit, Arcana, and Astras, offer tools for security improvement, resilient audits, proactive defense, knowledge sharing, and gamified training. Together, NERO empowers SMEs and public organizations to strengthen their cybersecurity effectively. So I will highlight now the NERO's objectives and outcomes. There are some key solutions, which include the Cyber Immunity and Resilience Toolkit. So this is a comprehensive resource to strengthen cybersecurity defenses and resilience for SMEs and public organizations. Then we have the ENISA-aligned activities and use cases, so collaborating with EU initiatives and applying real-world solutions in key sectors like healthcare, finance, and transports and logistics to demonstrate the impact of NERO's tools in critical industries. Then we have cybersecurity skilling and upskilling, so providing targeted training to enhance the cybersecurity expertise of the workforce, particularly for SMEs. Lastly, cyber resilience for SMEs and public organizations, a user-friendly marketplace that helps improve cybersecurity hygiene and overall resilience. These solutions contribute directly to Europe's digital transformation, fostering a secure and sustainable digital environment across the EU. NERO's implementation methodology focuses on delivering tools that can operate effectively in real-world conditions to enhance the cybersecurity of SMEs. We have 3 key phases. Phase 1 is cybersecurity landscape analysis and requirements, and this involves understanding the specific needs of SMEs, designing user scenarios, and analyzing legal and societal aspects. It also includes selecting tools with a high technology readiness level to ensure practical application. Then we have phase 2, NERO ecosystem and marketplace, and this phase is dedicated in designing and developing the NERO platform, integrating tools, and ensuring it aligns with the NISA threat landscape standards. Continuous feedback loops from SMEs will guide its evolution. Then we have phase 3, integration, demonstration, and training. The focus here is on validating the platform in real use cases, conducting training and building a network of SMEs and cybersecurity providers to ensure sustainability and widespread adoption. This iterative approach ensures that the NERO platform evolves with end user feedback and remains practical, effective, and sustainable. The effectiveness of the NERO concept will be validated through 3 use cases demonstrating across the key sectors of healthcare, transportation and logistics, and finance. And these demonstrations highlight the adaptability and impact of the NERO frameworks across critical industries. The NERO Marketplace is a platform designed to showcase and integrate a wide range of cybersecurity tools and resources. It provides SMEs with easy access to up-to-date solutions, allowing them to explore, select, and implement tools tailored to their specific needs. With a user-friendly interface and intuitive navigation, the marketplace empowers businesses to strengthen their cybersecurity defenses, equipping them to tackle evolving cyber threats while benefiting from continuous support and exercise. The NERO marketplace is organized into 3 categories. We have solutions, a range of cybersecurity tools provided by NERO consortium partners. Then we have trainings, so resources to help understand and effectively utilize these tools. And lastly, we have organizations, so a directory of consortium partners offering direct access to trusted providers of cybersecurity expertise and services. This structure ensures SMEs can easily find the tools, knowledge, and support they need to enhance their cybersecurity. These are example figures for each category. Effective filters are included in the NERO marketplace to help users easily find the most relevant solutions and training resources, ensuring they can quickly identify the content best suited for their needs. Here we highlight NERO's advanced textual search capabilities, including customized filtering and faceted search to refine results using multiple parameters. It integrates the NIST taxonomy, a structured classification system based on consortium expertise, ensuring precise categorization of offerings. The flexible delivery model supports infrastructure solutions, software packages, and SaaS, allowing vendors to choose their preferred distribution method. Additionally, the pricing model is designed to ensure marketplace viability and long-term sustainability. Here we introduce a comprehensive comparison based on common criteria, enabling users to make informed decisions when evaluating offerings. It includes solution-specific metrics for technical evaluations, tailored criteria for training resources like content quality and learning outcomes, and multidimensional information access, both vertical and horizontal, helping users to select the best available options. So NERO focuses on scalability by expanding the ecosystem to include more SMEs, enhancing their cybersecurity readiness. Through international collaborations, NERO aligns with other initiatives to amplify its impact. Continuous innovation driven by user feedback and market insights ensures practical and evolving solutions throughout the project. NERO is dedicated to strengthening EU cybersecurity by enhancing SME preparedness and making solutions more accessible. Aligned with EU policies and ENISA standards, NERO supports a secure digital environment while fostering collaboration between SMEs and solution providers. By integrating frameworks like Astra's, Arcana, and Victorious, NERO builds a robust, sustainable, and resilient cybersecurity ecosystem. So, and this is my last slide, the sustainability plan is built on development, incorporating user feedback to ensure long-term growth and operational viability. Its community-driven approach engages SMEs and stakeholders in testing and shaping tools, fostering user-centered development. By aligning with global cybersecurity trends and adapting to emerging challenges, NERO ensures its solutions remain innovative, relevant, and sustainable. So that was all from me. I hope I didn't exceed the time very much. Thank you. I will be here for the Q&As as well, both me and Dr. Saralido. And back to you, Maria Letizia. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much, Kitty, and also Eleni for being here today for the NERO project. And now it's time to give the floor to the other 3 projects that are together with us today. So we start with CyberSuite with Nefeli Buntuni. So the floor is yours. You can share your screen and start your presentation. Thank you for being here.
Thank you a lot, Maria Letizia. Just let me share the screen. Okay, I hope you can see it in presentation mode. So hello everyone, I am Nefeli Buntuni. I am representing here the CyberSuite project. It is a Horizon project, and I am working as a project manager in Suite 5 Data Intelligence Solutions. It is a Cyprus-based SME that is delivering data, software, and is participating in various European projects. So together we'll see how the CyberSuite project is actually fostering the uptake of innovative security as a service solutions by SMEs and MEs through the CyberSuite portfolio, but also through the CyberSuite marketplace. So the agenda for today, we will start with a brief presentation of the CyberSuite project, then we will go briefly to see the current landscape of cybersecurity marketplaces, and finally we will focus on the vision and the design of the CyberSuite marketplace. Starting with the CyberSuite project, it started in January 2024. Now it is almost in the middle of its life cycle. It will end in 2026, and it is a project that aims to assist SMEs that are currently adopting more and more software innovative services for their day-to-day operations in protecting themselves against cyber attacks. How will it do it? It offers a holistic cybersecurity framework that brings together a wide span of cybersecurity services of high TRL that cover the complete DevOps life cycle. So starting from the planning phase up to the actual deployment, operation, and monitoring of the software infrastructures of SMEs. We have in our portfolio services for raising cybersecurity awareness, for training personnel against phishing attacks. We have services for cybersecurity analytics and monitoring, threat identification, risk assessment, and more. We will demonstrate and showcase the added value of the CyberSuite portfolio in 4 use cases, representing 4 critical domains in terms of needs of cybersecurity protection. And these are the energy domain, mobility, health, and agriculture. Our consortium, it consists of 12 partners coming from 8 countries, European countries, and it involves 11 SMEs and 1 public organization, the one that is providing the healthcare demonstrator. So CyberSuite is approaching cybersecurity from the DevOps life cycle. So we see how we integrate security in every step of the life cycle of software and infrastructure. From the planning phase, when everything starts, we need to ensure that our assets, our infrastructure and software we are using as an SME is free from vulnerabilities and identify early any cybersecurity threats. We also need here to identify the assets that comprise the infrastructure of the SME and thus extract the cybersecurity requirements. Then during the build phase, we will ensure that we follow the best coding practices and that software that we use actually uses the best coding practices in order to minimize vulnerabilities. During the deployment phase, we need to make sure that our infrastructures, cloud service, and other resources that we are using are actually employing everything that we need in order to protect against cyber attacks. At the testing phase, after our solutions are deployed, we need to test our infrastructure against cyber attacks, for example, through pen testing in order to identify any weaknesses. In the operation and monitoring phase, it is actually when our software solutions are out there, they are actually working, and we employ cybersecurity solutions that will continuously monitor network and application status and communicate any identified issues, threats, and incidents to the end users in order to be able to respond in a timely manner. As a horizontal phase, that is an added one in the DevSecOps lifecycle, we identify everything, all the activities that have to do with the deployment, setup, configuration, maintenance, update of cybersecurity services over on top of our business application infrastructure. And here we see how the CyberSuite portfolio and the services it comprises of are mapped to the phases that we described. So in the planning phase, we can see that, for example, we have the Carto service that will allow an SME see if there is any leakage in the dark and deep web. During the build phase, with the SASTR tool, for example, for static code analysis, we can see if there are any vulnerabilities in code that we're using. During the testing phase, we have, for example, the pen testing tool that can perform simulated attacks against our infrastructure in order to identify weaknesses. In the deployment phase, the businesses are helped, they are assisted in deploying services with the Maestro and the Geiger conversational agent services. And in the operate and monitor phase, we have dashboards provided by the individual services that will allow business users and end users from the SME to identify incidents, to get alerted whenever something happens, and to continuously monitor their infrastructures. In the horizontal phase, at the bottom of the schema, we have the wizard. It is the configuration wizard that allows even non-cybersecurity experts to easily configure and set up the cybersecurity services over their infrastructure. The dashboard that consumes data from all the individual services of the CyberSuite portfolio and showcases the results in intuitive charts, and the marketplace that actually brings plugin-like services that will be used in tandem with the CyberSuite instance in order to extend the default capabilities of the services and to allow customization for the needs of each SME. So going briefly to the current cybersecurity marketplaces landscape, on the left side we can see what marketplaces aim to bring to the end users. So they actually aim to fill the gap between the demand and supply side, to bring together SMEs and security vendors, individual security developers, and other companies that deliver such solutions. They want to make the overall buy and sell process as streamlined as possible, and they also offer a schema that is a paradigm that is more suitable for SMEs and MEs, as it goes beyond the traditional top-down approach that was followed in the previous years by cybersecurity vendors. Then on the right side, we can see the challenges of existing cybersecurity marketplace. So for the end users, for the SMEs in our case, it is not very easy to discover the most relevant services among the full span of enlisted services in a marketplace. Then for cybersecurity service providers that upload their services to marketplaces, it is not very easy to create traction against other services and to become findable, especially if they are individual service providers. Then the process of actually seeing and finding a service in the marketplace up to actually deploying it in the infrastructure and utilizing it together with any other cybersecurity service that we have installed in the SME's infrastructure, it is not so easy, straightforward, and automated as promised. At the bottom of this slide, we can see some of the cybersecurity marketplaces that are out there, grouped under three categories. The vendor-driven, so we have a lot of cybersecurity marketplaces that are actually offering plugins and services that come to play on top of the main cybersecurity solution offered by the vendor, for example, by Security Scorecard. In the middle, we have the hyperscaler cybersecurity marketplace. There we see Amazon Marketplace, Google Cloud, and Microsoft Azure. Here we have services offered by third parties, for example, by Cisco, that are enlisted in these marketplaces, and they can work in tandem with the specific cloud resources. And on the right side, we see other marketplaces, as for example, the CyberWatching EU, that is a marketplace showcasing and concentrating in one place cybersecurity services delivered in the context of European projects. And here we can see what is the vision of the CyberSuite marketplace and how we will try to actually maximize its impact, both and benefits both for the end users, for SMEs, but also for the service providers that will choose it in order to upload services and to make them available to their customers. So first of all, it is going to work in tandem with the CyberSuite framework. It is going to offer these plugin-like services such as eBPF policies and configuration scripts that will be configurable by the SME and will be fully integrated with the CyberSuite framework in order to allow customization of the CyberSuite instance based on the needs of each SME. We will have service support, of course, coming from the developers and providers of CyberSuite services. And we will follow a competitive pricing schema that will be both affordable for SMEs, but also attractive to cybersecurity providers. Through campaigns, hackathons, and other dissemination and communication activities, we will ensure that we will have enhanced visibility for service providers. And at the bottom of our features, you see features that are mainly targeted at our SMEs, at service consumers. So we'll have community-based features that will allow easy identification of favorable services, for example, reviews, ratings, favorites, etc. We will utilize an intuitive categorization based on cybersecurity standards, but also based on a NIST framework in order to allow SMEs easily identify the services they need. We will have service recommendation services that will work in tandem with the CyberSuite framework. So coming from the cybersecurity analytics and the results of the CyberSuite instance on the framework, on the installation that runs at the SME's infrastructure, we will get insights and we will provide recommendations to the end users with regards to which services they should adopt or how they should further configure their installation in order to fit their needs in an updated manner. Finally, we will also feature advanced service exploration functionalities such as intuitive filtering, sorting, in order to allow end users easily find what they need in our marketplace. And with this slide, I am concluding my presentation. I am also at your disposal for any questions now or after during the panel discussion.
Thank you again. Thank you again, Nefeli. Yeah, from the CyberSuite project and the leader, let's say, of the marketplace implementation and settings. So we'll give the floor now to another representative from another project, CyberSynchrony. So the floor is going to Violetta Vasileva from Gruppo Maggioli. She is the project coordinator, and the floor is yours. Thank you, Violetta.
Hello, thank you very much, Maria Letizia. Hi, everyone. Good morning. It's a pleasure to be joining today and share a little bit more about our project. Just a little bit of background by myself. I'm helping with the project coordination of CyberSecurity, and basically the main area of my expertise and work has been on designing, developing, and advancing next generation internet solutions with a strong emphasis on the human aspect, on the human element for a cybersecurity ecosystem. So in CyberSecurity, also the project is about harmonizing people, processes, and technologies for robust cybersecurity. And this is a brief agenda of what I'm going to share with you today. So I'm going to present to you about the concept, the consortium, the main use cases we are covering in CyberSecurity, also what are the components, the methodology, and the next steps of the project. The project just started around end of next year, I would say. So we're still in the first phase of our project, but there are a lot of interesting stuff that are coming up, which I will share with you also later. So to give you a brief overview, CyberSecurity introduces a holistic module framework, amalgamating pioneering technologies to cultivate a cohesive, resilient cybersecurity infrastructure. integrating every facet of organizational security from technological advancements and human contributions to streamlined processes and a security-centric culture. The project lays significant emphasis on rapid incident response. This ensures enhanced preparedness and mutual assistance, providing an efficient counter to cyber threats. As I mentioned, the project just started last year. It's a duration of 36 months. We are 12 partners. It's divided into 3 phases. We are currently in phase 1. And also we are covering 3 use cases, which I will also share with you during the presentation. So the consortium is quite diverse. So we have partners who are SME representatives. We also have academia, we have research, and we also have public sector representatives, which are also taking part in our use case design. So a little bit of overview about the project. The comprehensive execution strategy of the project is designed to leverage the strengths of the involved organizations and prioritize the project anticipated results, emphasizing end-user engagement. CyberSynchrony's dynamic ecosystem consists of a comprehensive suite of cybersecurity modules, each tailored to specific needs. So this is a high-level overview of what kind of modules we have integrated into the cybersecurity, in the CyberSynchrony framework. So from the technical part, we have 4 main modules. The first one is the Cybersecurity Resilience and Incident Response Enhancement module. Then we have a module for cross-border cyber incident cooperation and response. We have a module for cyber threat intelligence and customized risk analysis. And also the 4th module is the proactive cyber risk monitoring and incident response. All these modules are interconnected, and they will be cross collaborating with each other. And the other layer, which is 2 separate modules, they're a little bit different. One is related to cybersecurity governance and compliance, and one on the human aspect, which is the cybersecurity education for all. So the methodology, as I mentioned, is divided into 3 phases. The phase 1, in which we are currently is analyzing cybersecurity terrain and member state requirements. In this phase, the focus is on understanding user needs, defining specific scenarios, and designing the toolkit structure. It also considers legal, societal, and human factors affecting cybersecurity threat detection. In phase 2, we have shaping the cybersynchronony ecosystem and infrastructure. This stage focuses on designing and refining system components, integrating tools, and aligning the cybersynchrony platform with the NISA threat landscape and global standards. Also insights from use case collaborations with member states and user feedback to shape the ecosystem, ensuring user-centric recommendations that support the project's educational goals. And the 3rd phase is on conference, showcasing, capacity building, and open calls. In this phase enhances the cybersynchrony platform, focusing on training, adoption, and connecting experts with SMEs. We also will have an open call here, which will invite contributions of innovative cybersecurity tools, offering financial support, mentorship, and visibility to selected participants, ensuring the platform remains cutting edge and impactful. The open call will be planned to start sometime late this year or beginning of next year, but more information about that will be shared later on through the project. So we have 3 main use cases we are covering in cybersynchrony, one in the health sector, one in public administration, and one for education, mainly on the focus of universities. So digital healthcare, it's a big topic because the integration of technology into healthcare has ushered in breakthroughs in medical devices and AI, optimizing treatments and monitoring. However, this digital shift brings concerns about the susceptibility of interconnected devices to cyber attacks, jeopardizing patient safety and healthcare system integrity. These challenges arise from design flaws and inadequate security measures in devices. Modern healthcare is strained by potential cyber attacks, impacting patient care and exposing the inadequacies of current security solutions. Since the COVID-19 outbreak, there has been a notable surge in cyber attacks on health facilities. And with our use case, we have 5 main objectives that we will be addressing here. The first one is the implementation of robust encryption methods to secure sensitive patient data, conduct regular cybersecurity audits and risk assessment of healthcare IT system, establish a real-time monitoring system for detecting unauthorized activities and potential data breaches, develop and implement a comprehensive incident response plan for cybersecurity threats, and train healthcare staff in cybersecurity best practices and awareness. The second use case is public administration, which plays a crucial role in delivering services to citizens, making their cybersecurity paramount for maintaining public trust, national security, and efficient governance. In the era of increasing cyber attacks, with a 600% surge and 95% of breaches attributed to human error, the introduction of secure e-governance platforms is essential. However, public administrations face challenges like outdated legacy systems, which lack modern defenses and the responsibility of safeguarding sensitive personal and national security data. Financial constraints, the absence of specialized expertise, and ensuring coordinated cybersecurity efforts across departments further compound these challenges. So with the CyberSynchrony use case, we have 5 objectives here. The first one is to safeguard the integrity and security of online services offered to the public, implement digital IDs for secure and efficient citizen identification, use blockchain technology for tamper-proof public records, develop and implement a comprehensive incident response plan for cybersecurity threats, and train public administration staff in cybersecurity best practices and awareness. And the third use case is focused mainly on educational infrastructure with a specific focus on universities. Universities prioritize protecting intellectual property and ensuring students' digital safety. They also strive for uninterrupted academic and administrative operations and compliance with data protection mandates. However, they face challenges in enhancing cybersecurity due to budget constraints, diverse demographics with varied tech skills, and multifaceted IT ecosystems. The dependence on external platforms for various services further complicates security, as ensuring third-party compliance with university security standards is challenging. So with CyberSynchrony, the main objectives we will be achieving in this use case is to guarantee the integrity and safety of e-learning platforms utilized by the institution, put in place strong digital security measures to safeguard critical research and data, ensure the confidentiality and integrity of student academic and personal records, equip teaching staff with the knowledge and skills needed for cybersecurity best practices, and formulate and execute a detailed plan for handling cybersecurity incidents. So this is, I would say, in a nutshell, the main also objectives that we'll be covering throughout the CyberSynchrony framework, as well as the use cases. And as I mentioned, we will be also launching open call, I think sometime end of this year, related to inviting SMEs to apply, also to contribute with different tools, technologies, and skill set for developing also different components to the CyberSynchrony ecosystem. So in that regard, I'd like to invite you all to follow the CyberSynchrony project on all the social media channels that we have, which is LinkedIn, X, also YouTube. and our website. We also have a newsletter, and all the information related to our activities, such as workshops, webinars, as well as open call updates, will be shared there timely. So I would strongly advise you, if you're interested and want to get involved, to definitely subscribe and follow. And follow all the channels. I will say this is for me from a nutshell. I'm happy to answer any further questions, or feel free to get in touch if you would like to get more information about the project or to get involved with some of our activities. So thank you very much for your attention, and back to you, Maria Letizia. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Violeta. So for your interesting, very interesting presentation about the many aspects that you are covering with this, with this topic. So I give the floor now to Christos Douligeris from CyberSecPro project. He is the technical coordinator and professor at UPRC University. So Christos, I see your presentation, the first page, so the floor is yours. Thank you for being here.
Thank you very much, and thanks for organizing this event. I heard very interesting talks. I know some of the people that talked. I participated in some of the other projects. My presentation is going to be more about education, which is necessary and also involves and is a need for SMEs. It's going to discuss how we address this in the CyberSecPro project, which is a project, also a DEP project. I don't have the details here. The participants, you can find them in the relevant web pages and the lists. I would like to say that this work at UPRC, we're cooperating very, very closely with Professor Nineta Despina-Polemi and Theodoros Karvounidis and some other researchers. And I would like to thank all the other CyberSecPro participants for all this exciting journey we have had so far for the past 2 years. Now we're in the third and final year of the project. The ambition of the project is a bit different, but it can be very supplementary to what we have had before. What we have realized is that higher education institutions like universities, colleges, and so on, they need to offer hands-on and working life skills in order to work on the digital transformation in many critical sectors of the economy. In our project, as we had to we choose some specific sectors, so we have chosen the maritime, energy, and health sectors, and I realized there is some common ground with some of the other projects. And what we want to do is to make a learning factory. In the title of my talk, I put marketplace, following the marketplace ideas from the other projects that preceded it. So to link innovation, research, industry, academia, and SME support. So we have a close cooperation between higher education institutions and the private sector, which means security and consultancy companies at the moment. So we can enhance the role that the higher education institutions can have and bring all the universities and colleges and institutions closer to what the markets and the industries need. We have a web page, which I listed a couple of times in the next slides, where you can find all the details about the project. Here is our first page of the sort of fearsome shield here about our project. We want to create cutting-edge education and training material. Some are courses, some are webinars, and some are the various types, as we will see in the rest of the discussion. And what we want is to enhance the competencies and the professionalism in cybersecurity. As it was mentioned in the previous talks, like in the introductory talk by Evangelos, we need the cybersecurity skills and capabilities. We have a lot of research efforts, we have a lot of cybersecurity knowledge, but there's a big lack on skills and capabilities, which is demonstrated in all surveys, and companies that want to have people to hire, they need that. And as Evangelos said, some companies, they cannot afford to have it at the level that it should be required. And I think the previous projects can address this issue very well by providing all these marketplaces So even people without a lot of skills and without spending a lot of effort can find the right tools. We want to bring in ideas from research and innovation into industry, academia, and to be able to support small and medium enterprises and work in coordination in some form of partnerships. We call it public-private partnerships in the general area, not in the formal official area. Like we want to cooperate have a cooperation between private industries and the public sector, so we can have trainings. We already have trainings and training centers, and see what are the marketing demands and tries to close the gap between the offering and the market demands. In order to do that, we had to try to identify some categorization and have a methodological view. And in this process, we got the help, we got the background given to us by the European Commission's Joint Research Center's methodological view that you see here, where the taxonomy is based on the sectors, on the application and technologies, and the cybersecurity domain. We also use the NISA's ECSF regarding the framework for European skills, so we can know whom we train, what we do. Okay, so in our, as you see here, there is cybersecurity is not a single dimensional problem, science. It's a three-dimensional one, and I think the people who work in cybersecurity realize that it's not very it's not very effective to, let's say, work only on deep theory. You need to work in practice, and not only practice, but you also have to have a specific sector which sector has its own needs. So in our project, the objectives are first to do a market analysis, which we have already done and found gaps in what is offered and what needs to be offered. And then we proposed the courses that you'll see later. And these courses are state-of-the-art technological training tools, market-oriented, and provide a complete CyberSec program, which we are currently operating and in parallel evaluating. As we said, we are in the final year. And we are also working on certification scheme, because there's a big question. I attend the conference, I attend the workshop, I attend the course. What are the credentials that are given to me and how I can use them in my professional life? Is it going to be micro-credentials? Is it going to be ECTSs, or what other form of certificate which can help me in my career? Okay, because beyond the real thing that we want to have people that are trained, the people that are trained will also have a paper or some form of certification. And in order to do that, we had to work very closely between ourselves and with other external partners to harmonize the learning objectives, to harmonize the teaching material, to find out what we had before in our respective universities, colleges, or training centers, and make them as much as practical as possible. We need more labs, and this is something that we are trying to reach. Okay, every time we have let's say, we had a winter school last week in Portugal, which was based on a summer school the year before, and this was very well enhanced because people wanted more labs. They weren't satisfied only to listening lectures. They wanted tools, as I see, and I'm very happy to see in the previous projects, many tools are included and organized in the marketplace. Also, people want to have something flexible, mini courses, seminars, summer schools, hackathons, decathlons, call it physical or online, and to have access to that. And for that, we have created a curriculum management system, which we call DCM. And for that, we also want to be sustainable. That's one big problem of all the European projects, and this is something we're working very hard. So as I already said, we have the main objectives. We also want to have some secondary objectives, like we want to give state-of-the-art reports on cybersecurity skills framework, best practice reports, surveys, questionnaires. This is the lookout of the view of the project. We have finished already work package 2 and work package 3, the portfolio, the curriculum, and the analysis of the program, and now we are operating the professional training program, and we are also in the process of evaluating, benchmarking, and showing best practice. And of course, in parallel, we do activities like today's dissemination, sustainability, and market take-up. The knowledge areas we cover are shown here. I don't want to go one by one because we don't have so much time. It's a very wide spectrum of the areas from soft skills in cybersecurity to heavy technical ideas. And we have created what we call modules in our case. And we have these 12 modules covering cybersecurity system management, forensics, operations, penetration, testing, and so on, which correspond to the needs that are required in various profiles in the CSF list given and updated and working in NISA, where some of us also participate in this exercise. To be a little bit more specific, just to show the problems or the questions we try to answer, I focus on my next 2 or 3 slides very, very quickly on the maritime sector, which is one sector we've been working for many years at the University of Piraeus for obvious reasons. And you will see here an industry which is increasingly digitalized, and suddenly cybersecurity has emerged as a critical concern. We didn't have this digitalization a few years ago, maybe 10 years ago, and when we started working on cybersecurity in maritime, people are looking at us with a strange eye, say what we are doing there. But then recently, with all these new advancements in satellite communications, in on board, even with automatic ships and so on, we have a complex nature in the operations of the maritime sector with a growing threat of cyber attacks, as it is obvious in every industry, but here some of these attacks can be lethal and can be very, very destructive. So we need to have some training material specifically for this sector, so we can enhance what the maritime professionals need in terms of information, but also in terms of skills, so we don't have problems in the global trade. And some challenges here that we see in the maritime security, we've done that for the other sectors as well. We have legacy systems, that's the biggest problem in most of the industries, how the old systems that were not designed to cooperate with these technologies, now they have to cooperate with. The supply chains, this was something that we were talking about more than 10 years ago, and the people were looking at us again with a strange eye, but now we have seen a lot of supply chain attacks and how all this interconnection can work and bring solutions. Human error, we heard in the previous talks about social engineering, but also costs. And the cost here can be in various forms, okay? It's not only monetary cost, because somebody would say, okay, the maritime operations, we have money and so on, but sometimes it's time. We were talking, let's say, with ship operators who were telling us, why don't you upgrade your Windows this version to another one and redo all these things? Oh, we have to have the boat on the port for a couple of days. That's not something we can do. So we have to look at it, and also we have to look at the evolving threat landscape, as Evangelos presented very, very eloquently in his original talk. So we didn't have a cybersecurity awareness training. We have workshops, seminars that focus on these strategies, on this threat, and have mitigation strategies to keep them with updated and provide cybersecurity certification programs, training programs in some areas which are extremely specific, even for us. Okay, we are technical people, but still not a lot of us work on, let's say, electronic charge display information system and AIS, which people in the maritime sector work every day. So we have to look at them in a specific way and try to integrate them in our courses. And I'm moving a bit fast. Also, we need to go to leaders, because it's a very important problem in all the sectors. We have to persuade the leaders in every sector about the importance of cybersecurity, and to persuade them before they have a cybersecurity event, because if a cybersecurity event happens, like ransomware that we mentioned before, then it's already too late, and we have to have them understand that this is security first mindset. Okay, it's not the same boat that we had 10, 15 years ago. We are in a different landscape, and we have to work on this very closely. So the universities have to do that. In our university, we have a Department of Informatics, Department of Digital Systems, we have a Department of Naval Studies, one of the first departments, of who we cooperate to try to understand what type of material and what type of methodological approaches we need in order to succeed in this environment. I don't expect you to read all this here, but you can see various modules that we have prepared and offered most of them for maritime. Okay, remember I mentioned 12 modules. In every module we have various courses that cover parts of the module, and we have sector-specific training for maritime in some of them. Some of them are courses, some of them are seminars, some of them are workshops, summer schools, and so on. And here is also we have a place where you can log in and get the material. We call it DCM. It's a content management system where you can log in this dynamic curriculum management that was developed by our colleagues in Portugal in cooperation with UPRC mainly, where people can access the material, do some self-study, and now we're also working on preparing a set of MOOCs where people can do self-study on their own pace and answer problems, questions, be evaluated, get responses, and so on. This is another picture of the DCM environment. And I don't want to do a live presentation of the DCM, of course. And all this we have to do in a harmonizing way. Before the CyberSecurity project, we saw this harmonization. We use, as I said before, a taxonomy that was from the Europe, from JCC. I also mentioned ECSF from ENISA. We want to do things that are working in the whole industry and not try to invent the wheel. So we talk to people, we get best practice exchanges, we work on collaborative projects and programs. Meetings like this give us the capability to advertise, show off our work, make it available, and also learn from the other projects. And I thank everybody for that. So that if needed, what standardization efforts we have to do and how we can achieve continuous improvement by regularly updating and improving what we are doing in this area. We are not satisfied. We are never satisfied with what we have. We are always seek feedback. We revise the material, and this brings us problem. How do we do updates in the DCM? How do we report that? How do we keep track of this? But I think it's necessary that then we have the best material possible. I hope I was on time. Thank you very much. If you have questions, my email and Michael is here, so you can always talk to me and or to my colleagues in the other companies and universities. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much again, Christos, for your presentation. Again, very, very interesting to see how different, let's say, perspective of the topic could be equally important. And actually the work, the massive work that all these projects are doing in this matter. So it's very important for us all. So I'm asking you now to switch on the video, to all the speakers to switch on the video. We have a couple of questions from the audience now. So maybe we can try to address these questions. And I mean, the speaker that think that are the most appropriate one, the more appropriate one can answer. Let's say that we cover, I mean, you covered many different aspects on this topic, and you highlight somehow also the culture of security and the human factor inside of your projects, how it is important in this SME to highlight the challenges that you are facing. But first of all, I would like to understand more about these kind of challenges, what you are thinking. So what are the most significant cybersecurity challenges that you are thinking from your perspective that the small and medium enterprises are facing today? Because it's a very particular moment in history and in digital, let's say, presence in everyone's life. So this is one question that arrived directly from the audience. And so comparing these challenges, how do your marketplaces address these specific needs effectively? So how you think these platforms are addressing these challenges? I don't know who among you wants to reply to this question, but more than one, maybe.
If that's all right. Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, perfectly.
Okay, great. So that's a very interesting question, and thank you for providing it to us. So I think that SMEs face significant cybersecurity challenges, and this includes a range from limited resources or lack of in-house expertise, or increasing threats like we mentioned before, phishing, ransomware, or supply chain attacks. And with our marketplace in NERO, we are trying to address these needs by providing cost-effective, scalable, and easy to deploy security solutions, which would be specifically tailored for SMEs. So we simplify the access to trusted cybersecurity tools and services. We try to offer automation and compliance support and expert guidance in order to help businesses proactively manage risks without requiring deep technical expertise.
Great, thank you, Kitty. Everyone else wants to add something, maybe from your own perspective?
I can agree with Kitty that you have to give things that are usable and also not expensive prices and so on. But before prices, it's time and usability that is very, very important in whatever we offer. Because you can see so from the today's webinar, you would expect thousands of SME people to attend the webinar to learn about security, cybersecurity. But reality is that we have to push people to come to our seminars. We give workshops, we give online and physical and so on. And we do have a hard time to attract the numbers that we will envision, the numbers that we show up in the reports. So it's such a big lack, awareness and so on. So you have to find other ways to offer them to them, to push them somehow to the SMEs. Thank you.
If I may add as well,
Of course.
I think that the awareness is very low, so that's why a lot of SMEs, maybe don't respond to the challenge. Maybe they feel that this is something that doesn't, bother them, will not affect them, or they cannot appreciate the business risk. For me, this is the most important thing, that it's not a technical challenge, it's not a technical risk, it's a business risk. Because if you have a ransomware attack, all your important data of your clients, suppliers, whoever owns your money, is, scrambled, and you cannot have access to them, then obviously will bring the company to your knee. Or if you violate, a requirement of a legislation and you don't know this and then you are audited and you are part of an attack. So the penalty that you might have to pay might, exceed the value of the company. So this is really important, and you have to be aware of the risks and be aware of the problem. Now, how you decide to address the risk, that's another story. You can insource, you can outsource, you can, rely on others, do many things, but at least be aware of the risk, and that this is not a technical risk, it's a business risk. Thank you.
Yeah, of course, this is an important aspect, because, this is the case that everyone says, okay, doesn't happen to me, no? So we need to increase all together, to be conscious about the risks that are in place. I don't know if the other speakers want to add something else, but I have another question.
Maybe I'll just add from a CyberSecurity point of view that, it's of course SMEs, and also that's what we are targeting in the project, but also it's a lot about the public institutions who sometimes have even more limited resources. And in our case, we are have two use cases. One is for the public administration and one in healthcare, which of course a lot of people who work in public administration, their tasks are trained in specific roles. So sometimes the technical aspect or the cyber hygiene is a little bit more neglected. And like educational activities and awareness activities are very important. So during the project, that's one of our main objectives for those specific use cases, to organize educational and cyber awareness activities for people working in those organizations. Also because normally it's very hard also to reach them, sometimes to participate in webinars and some stuff which is beyond the scope of their everyday work, because these are very concentrated and targeted, I would say, jobs. So yeah, so I wanted to highlight that the public sector is also quite important in that area.
Thank you very much. Yes, very important. I actually have another question. I don't know if we have the time to properly reply, by we take this because I think it's important from our perspective. So what strategy are you employing to ensure widespread adoption of your marketplace among SMEs? And how do you envision its long-term impact on the European cybersecurity ecosystem? It's a huge question, I think. I don't know if anyone wants to address this question.
Hello, from the CyberSuite project. We will conduct activities like hackathons that will target students, universities, but also SMEs and companies in order to familiarize them with our services and our marketplace. And in the second hackathon, we could also invite security service developers in order to utilize the marketplace as providers. So in order to familiarize them with uploading their services there and utilizing our networks and visibility in order to also find their customer base and their users. So through these activities, together with the CyberSuite Academy, that will be there with training material and courses, and it will also target students and other people. I think that these are some measures that will maximize our visibility. And of course, long-term post-project planning for sustainability and exploitation. This is something that we will plan ahead, we will do during the course of the project in order to ensure that what we develop now will stay alive after the project ends.
Great, thank you. Thank you, Nefeli. Yeah, we are approaching the end of the webinar because the time is short. I don't know if you, Evangelos Zunis from ENISA, want to give a last word in the conclusion of this webinar. From your point of view, just a recommendation maybe, and we can close the webinar.
Thank you so much for the honor. I mean, what I can say is that definitely the SMEs will have to accept the cybersecurity risk and do something about it. And the first step starts with awareness and understanding of the problem. And I think there are a lot of EU-funded projects that, and also organizations like ENISA that are here, to help the people to understand the risk, and then they have to decide how to mitigate, how to manage this risk.
Thank you.